The BMW X6 M Competition is an iconic vehicle in the SUV category. The company's midsize coupe SUV is now in its third generation. It still resembles an expressive X5 with a sloping roof that meets an equally crooked beltline. In fact, those who dislike coupe SUVs may credit this vehicle for the existence of the whole category, as the original X6 probably established the trend back in 2008 when it made its debut. So what makes the X6 M Competition different to the X6M and other X6s? Keep watching to find out. It's offered in the more potent but not quite full M50i standard or the far more pedestrian S-Drive 40i and X-Drive 40i variants. This X6 though is the top dog X6 M Competition, the quickest and most powerful version available, and exactly what you'd receive if you walked into a BMW shop and announced to the salesperson, "Give me the largest, fastest and loudest thing you have." Packing a twin turbocharged 4.4-litre V8, the X6 M Competition develops 617 horsepower and 553 pound-feet of torque. If it appears absurd on paper, be assured that it's rather outrageous in real life. The X6 M Competition is a crazily, excessively speedy SUV when you press your foot right to the floor. With the Tester's M Drivers package, peak speed is electronically limited to 177 miles per hour and predicted to take 3.7 seconds from 0 to 60 miles per hour. In Canada, the competition version of the X6M will no longer be available after 2022, although people in other countries, including the US, may still choose a competition X6M and save nearly $9,000. The basic X6M generates 600 horsepower instead of the competition's 617 horsepower and accelerates to 60 miles per hour 0.1 seconds longer. Moreover, it lacks the X6M Competition's track drive mode, red and blue M seatbelts, black exterior trim, full merino leather, and M Sport exhaust system and smaller standard rear wheels. Speaking of exhaust, the upgraded V8 with the M Sport exhaust produced some genuinely insane straight-line speed in addition to sounding rather terrific. This is undoubtedly one of those vehicles that sounds nicer from the outside than it does inside, which made owners sort of wish BMW wasn't so good at sound insulation. Its voice is snarly at low RPM and booming at high revs, yet it looks more scientific than animalistic from the inside. If you ever find yourself in control of an X6M Competition, do yourself a favor and drive to the closest tunnel. Open a window, shift down a gear, and enjoy the thunder. The steering of the X6M Competition is accurate, quick ratio, and satisfyingly responsive when it is pointed towards a winding back road. However, the steering wheel doesn't have a lot of feels, but it was kind of expected given that past BMWs haven't had the finest steering feel. The X6M Competition earned its M badge with ease, even by non-SUV standards. An athletic suspension combined with a similarly robust chassis results in a flat cornering feel. With the aid of those large Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires, BMW has successfully designed away the majority of the drawbacks of a high center of gravity that comes with a body type like this. The way the entire car responds to inputs was excellent. Sure, a skilled driver should be able to squeeze out more performance from, say, an M5 on a racetrack. However, BMW X6 M Competition can keep up with any super sedan on public highways. The restrictions are quite strict, and for better or worse, an enjoyment nearly invariably entails breaching the rules. The X6 M Competition is incredibly controlled and ruthlessly efficient at covering a lot of ground in a short amount of time. And overall, this SUV is flawlessly constructed and incredibly quick. In terms of aesthetics, I really quite like what BMW did with the new X6's front end. Although I'm not sure they truly serve a purpose, I adore the little blue highlights inside the laser headlights. The grille is large yet proportionate, and its attitude is forceful. The Tester's $4,900 CAD frozen black paint job looks really menacing and goes nicely with the overall theme of the vehicle. For the record, some detest the hue. I'm not sure if it is because it gave the automobile the appearance of being always unclean, or because it gives the impression to onlookers that whoever is driving is definitely an open villain. In any event, it is impossible to discuss the BMW X6 without bringing up the back half. This whole sloped roof coupe SUV thing is still utterly absurd. Compared to a more regularly sized SUV like an X5 M Competition, the sloped roof and rising beltline result in less luggage space, lower visibility, and a darker, cave-like interior for the occupants. And all of that is before we discuss aesthetics. There isn't really any logical reason in terms of space to choose this over an X5M other than the vainglorious urge to drive the loudest SUV BMW produces. So the kindest thing I can say about the X6's rear end at this point is to let you make your own judgments. At least the X6 M interior is far less contentious. Anyone who has recently been in a new BMW would immediately recognize it as being practical and driver-focused, yet lavishly equipped and decorated. Almost every surface is made of shiny carbon fiber, leather or metal. Cup holders that are heated and cooled experience extreme heat and cold. The speaker grills, door pockets, and even the edges of the panoramic sunroof are lined with ambient lighting, and the $4,900 CAD Bowers & Wilkins Diamond surround system performs well. The chairs are ergonomically sound, yet a tad too stiff, much like the ride. The headrests have a more athletic sensation than they would if placed at the head of a bed. Although they are both amazing demonstrations of how far technology and, yes, human laziness have advanced, the massaging feature on the front seats and gesture controls that allow you to control the radio by waving your hand like a wizard are both restricted in terms of actual usefulness. I believe the term I'm looking for is gimmick. There is certainly no lack of power in the street race or if a driver decides to use a racetrack for whatever reason. With the aid of 6 radiators, 4 water pumps, and a specialized transmission cooler, the powertrain should be able to maintain its cool under conditions of heavy load and yet provide reliable performance. But it's also crucial to note that the powertrain does have a softer, more forgiving side. When using the efficiency setting, the X6 operates respectably. Interestingly, the X6 M features an exclusive front bumper with larger air intake openings, a larger kidney grille with black bars, flared wheel arches, M front fender grills, aero side mirrors, and a rear diffuser with quad exhaust outlets to visually support its rousing performance credentials and distinguish itself from less powerful versions. The M Division's system tuning is as remarkable as the stunning SUV's rest. The skid pad at the test track recorded an average of 0.97 G lateral acceleration. This figure offers exceptional confidence in the real-world loop. One warning, the Sport Plus suspension option causes too much vertical body motion, where the X6M pogos and rarely feels stable on anything but the smoothest roads. Since comfort mode is also an option, Sport appears to be the ideal setting. Who could have predicted that an SUV would be able to properly compete with and occasionally humiliate sports cars half its size? What do you think of the X6M Competition? That's all from this video. See you in the next one.